Hey everyone, Eric here. In this video, we're checking out the Octahive V2 from Beetronics. The Octahive is a vintage-inspired fuzz pedal, and it takes aim at that high octave fuzz sound, as well as being a more standard sort of gated sounding fuzz. Before we jump into the pedal, let's go ahead and go over our signal chain. I'm using this Fender Player Series Tele build with Righteous Sound pickups. That's going into the Octahive V2, and then we're going into the front of the Boss Katana set pretty clean like this. We have three controls. We have volume, honey, and pre. Volume is our output volume, so if we turn it down, we're gonna get quieter sounds. If we turn it up, we're gonna get louder sounds driving other pedals down your chain. And the Octahive V2 has plenty of volume to drive pretty much anything. So here's a clean sound. Now here's the pedal with the volume on minimum. Of course, it doesn't make any sound. In the middle of the pedal, we have the honey control, and this is our amount of gain or amount of fuzz. At minimum settings, we're going to get a less fuzzy sound. Still fuzzy, but less so. As we start to increase the honey control, we're gonna get more and more fuzz. I'm gonna go ahead and play something and then increase it to 50% so we can hear that gradual increase in fuzz. Let's go ahead and keep increasing. Right now we're at about 75%. Now let's go ahead and increase it to maximum. And there you can kind of hear that the normal fuzz mode has a slightly gated texture. Next to the honey control, we have the pre knob. This knob gives us control over the signal that's going into the front of the circuit. So if we turn the pre down, we're going to send less volume into the pedal. And as we turn the pre up, we're going to send a stronger and stronger and louder signal into the front of the fuzz, which gives us more saturation and a different texture. So I'm gonna go ahead and set the honey control back to about 60%, and we're gonna turn the pre down all the way. We're not gonna get any sound at all, but as soon as we start to turn the pre up, we're going to let some signal through. And from here, we can choose to boost the signal more and more going into the front of the pedal. So right now I'm at about 20%. Let's go ahead and play a little bit and then jump up to like 50%. And then of course we can choose to further boost our signal going into the front. Let's go ahead and hear how it sounds at about 75%. That sounds really woolly. You can tell that we're sending a lot of signal into the front because the pedal is kind of compressing as we start to dig in. Let's go ahead and push it all the way up to 100%. So now I've got my Woodwright Warlord plugged into the Octahive, and this is changing in a couple different ways. First of all, it's tuned to C standard, so we're way down lower than my Tele, which is an E standard. Second of all, we have two humbuckers instead of single coil pickup. So let's hear how the Octahive sounds with humbuckers and a low tune guitar. I've got the honey at 50% and the volume at 50%, and then we're gonna start at minimum on the pre, and then we're gonna go all the way up to maximum. Now, I mentioned before, the foot switch has been given the ability to switch the modes. We can do a few different things with the foot switch. First of all is momentary mode switching. So when the pedal is on, we can press and hold the foot switch and we're momentarily switching to the opposite mode. So right now we're in the normal mode, so we can switch from the normal mode into the octave mode. Or we can permanently switch them by double pressing the foot switch. That switches mode, and now if we press and hold, it momentarily goes back to the normal mode because our bass is now the octave mode. So let's go ahead and hear how the normal mode differs in sound from the octave mode. Now we've got my Squier Classic Vibe Precision bass plugged into the Octahive V2, and let's hear how the pedal sounds on bass. So here's a clean sound. We're gonna go ahead and set the honey to 100%, volume's at 50%, and then we're gonna go up from minimum on the pre-control. I'm at about 45% on the pre-control, and I can hear and feel a lot of compression in the pedal. So I think my preferred sounds would be lower on the pre-control if I want a more, open sound. But one thing I like to do is turn the pre-control all the way up, the honey all the way up, and then we can kind of make our bass sound like a synthesizer. I hope you enjoyed this look at the Octahive V2 from Beetronics. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel, and also if you want to see more gear demo videos, check the backlog here on the channel. I have tons and tons of videos. If you'd like to learn more about the Octahive V2 or purchase it, I do have affiliate links down in the description. Now what those do is they send you over directly to a product, and it lets that site know that I sent you. It saves you time, it doesn't cost you anything extra, and anything you buy through that link I get a small commission on. So it's a great way to help support the channel because, again, it saves you time, it doesn't cost you anything extra, and it's very low effort. So if you want to do that, I do have affiliate links below for Amazon, Reverb, and Sweetwater. I also want to send a huge thank you to my Patreon fam, my supporters over on Patreon. I really, really appreciate you. And I want to thank you again so much for watching this video. I hope you're doing well out there. I hope you're staying safe. Most of all, I hope you're taking care of yourself. I'll see you in the next video.